technicians, contractors, maybe even the media regarding the R22 phase out. You might have heard words like illegal or deadline, and unfortunately there is some misinformation out there, so I want to spend a couple of minutes today to discuss it. So on January 1st of this year, R22, also known as Freon, was phased out. It's no longer going to be manufactured. So homes that have been built the last 10 years or have had their air conditioner switched out will not be affected by this phase out at all. Existing homes with R22 systems in place will still be able to use the supply of R22, aka Freon, that's still available. Contractors and distributors have known about this for many years now, and they have prepared for it, and currently there is still a stockpile of it available. If you have clients that do have a warranty with us and would like to modify their systems, they're welcome to let us know, and we'll go through our contractor network to there is a lot of misinformation, I'm going to reiterate it again, out there regarding this. So you might be working with another agent on the other side that is very adamant, saying, hey, we want a new air conditioner put in because of this and this and this. Well, they are welcome to call me, and you do have the pamphlet in front of you, but they're, again, give me a call. I'm happy to walk them through it or walk you guys through it again. I did leave several pamphlets for you to take with you for your future clients or for your clients now. I have a lot of these available, so please text me or call me if you want me to drop some off at the office for you, or I'm more than happy to mail them to your home office. I'm doing that a lot more these days, and I'm more than happy to do that for you. I'll probably send out a shipment to my other clients tomorrow, so you would have it by probably by Friday, okay, and Monday at the latest. Does anybody have any questions in regards to this? Yes?
Ballpark, what does it cost for retrofit?
That's a great question. It depends on the system. Her question was how much it's going to cost for the retrofit. It could cost several $100s. It could cost maybe a little bit more than that, or it could cost less. It really depends on the system itself, how old it is. There is a refrigerant that is very similar to Freon called, there's different ones, 407A, I believe it's called, that works very similar to Freon. So you might not have to do very many modifications at all to introduce this new refrigerant into the air conditioner. There's great information on YouTube also out there for you, but again, please use me as a reference. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have. With that said, thank you guys. Have a wonderful day.
Thanks,
and have a
Art.
great rest of the meeting.
Thank you.
Thank Art.
Nice job.
Thank you, Art.
Me too.
Bye, guys.
Please, take some of these. So this is going to be a big deal. As we get into the warmer months, people are going to be paying more attention to their air conditioners. And as Art said, it might be a few $100s, but there may be thousands of dollars. You might have to replace the whole system. Freon's going away. So this is a real thing that we need to let people know about for them to investigate. We don't know the answers. But we're the ones, though, that need to bring it up and go, you need to have the answers that you're looking for on your older air conditioner. So please be aware of this. It's been coming for a long time, but now it's here. So it's important. We've got Tricia and Shannon with Stewart Title. Please give them a nice welcome.
Oh, we got a video.
I do.
They
We're
came
gonna
prepared with a
have to
video.
watch the video first, and I know it says Michelle on your screen. Michelle apologizes. She is not feeling well, so instead of coming here today, she sent us in her place. So I know we all appreciate that.
We appreciate that. We're all a little fearful.
I know.
Stewart Title is the third largest underwriter in the world.
With over 5,000 associates worldwide.
Stewart Title has been in the title insurance industry for over 126 years.
Serving over 80 countries. Stewart Title has the lowest debt to equity out of the top 4 title companies.
With our A financial ratings. Stewart Title has served our great state of Colorado for over 50 years.
With 21 offices and growing, we can serve you and your customers anywhere.
We offer nationwide mobile earnest money deposit. Stewart Title is rated Forbes 50 most trustworthy financial companies in America.
Reach out to your local salesperson to learn about all of our unique tools and resources to help better serve you and your customers. years and that we served over 80 countries. No one. Right. So most of us in Colorado, I have learned, so I've traveled to multiple different states and worked in multiple different states. I've learned that Stewart Title has not done a great job of letting people know who we really are. So again, that's what this was for. And this video commercial is actually part of a new platform that we just partnered with Thrive Education. So if you're interested, we have free online CE. And this is actually something that your managing brokers can offer to you, or you can go to the website yourself. So that video is actually part of that platform now. So if you sign up, you'll see that video multiple times throughout all of those CE classes. One of the other things that we talked about, and I don't know how many of you have customers that are not sitting right here in the state of Colorado. You don't want to wait on them to send you a check, et cetera, et cetera. We have the mobile deposit for earnest money, which is fantastic. It's actually through a program called Zochem. So remember, it's Rock'em Zochem because everybody wants to call it Zocam. It is not Zocam, that's nasal spray. With Zochem, your customer can be anywhere in the world and send that earnest money deposit. It is just like doing a mobile deposit like you do through your regular bank. It does come directly to us, and then we put it into the file. If we don't have a contract yet, it gets held just like any check that would show up before we have a contract. So we do have some really unique tools and resources. We're happy to share those with you. On your table, you'll find my card, and then I'm going to let Shannon say just a brief little introduction about herself. She's the branch manager of the DTC office, which is the closest one to the office.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. I see some familiar faces. Hopefully you can hear me okay. More?
Yeah.
There you okay. I'm loud. So I am the branch manager of the DTC office just down the street, and I've been in the business a little over 22 years on the lending side and now on the title side for probably the last half of that. And we have a great team there, closers, processors, support people to help you guys get through your transaction. Zochem is a great program for the earnest money. How that kind of works, just a little bit more to add on to what Tricia said, is you do it right from your phone, you pick the branch, and it goes right to our office. We get notified it's there. Picking the branch is the important part, just to let you know, because you might say, oh, I sent it, it might be at somebody else's office of Stewart Title. So just picking your branch so you know which one it goes to, and then we get it instantaneously, and we'll send out that receipt right away. So it's a very useful tool, it helps. But if your client can't do that, we're happy to send a courier to come pick it up for you guys. We can do wire, we can send a sales rep to come get it. So don't feel like you're just stuck to sending it the old-fashioned way, dropping it off. We have several offices up and down the Front Range, up in the mountains that we can close for you. So we can close anywhere, even if you're just working with us at DTC and you want to close in Cherry Street, we can facilitate that for you. And we're just excited to be here today. So if you guys have any questions, I have some cards up here as well, and I'm happy to answer them for you. Thank you.
Anybody have any questions for us? Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Another round of applause for our sponsors today. Thanks for breakfast. We really appreciate it. Nice, Paul. Nice little. Yeah, I like it. So you guys have little sticky notes on your table. And we did this a few months back. If you have a question, and again, I mentioned this a few months back, I always think that you guys like standing up and talking in front of the public. And we have found out that you don't. Some of you do, but not all of you. So if there's a question that you have, real estate related or systems related, and you're like, oh, what a perfect chance. We're right here in front of Stacey, Parker, Paul, Amir, everyone. Write down a question. We'll collect these here in a little bit, and then we'll pick some of the questions you have, and we'll answer them. And then if there's like sometimes you get some really long questions, like the answer will take a while. We'll save that for a topic for our Tuesday talks. Who here has watched one of our Tuesday talks? Awesome. Who here doesn't know what I'm talking about?
Don't be shy.
Don't be shy. If you don't know about Tuesday talks. Okay, so Tuesday talks, Stacey and I, every Tuesday at 10 a.m., half hour-ish. we'll have a topic, and we will just, it's on Facebook Live, so you don't have to download anything, it's not Zoom, it's not teleconferencing. We have found that stuff just, it's hard. People don't want to download apps, and so you just log into Facebook and watch us, and we're just kind of talking about a topic that usually comes from a survey that we have seen, something that's going on in the industry, and then you can type in questions about anything outside of that topic as well, and we'll do it for a half hour, 45 minutes. Yesterday, we had Will Davis, who did an amazing job on how do you overcome those people or companies or agents that are rebating their commissions, that are giving away their commissions. How do you show your value and earn and keep your commission? And I think he did a fabulous job, and those of you that watched it, give him a round of applause for doing it. That was good, wasn't it? I mean, I know that there's a lot of you guys that's like, that was really good. And hearing from the two of us, yes, we've done this a long time, but sometimes it's like, oh yeah, it's on Stacey. So hearing from your own peers, your people, is kind of nice. So if you're someone like, oh, that looked kind of fun, I kind of wanted to do what Will did, please reach out to us and say, hey, I'd love to share something. And we'll be tapping people along the way, going, hey, would you please, and try and pull you to do it. But not everybody likes sitting in front of the camera and riffing for a half hour. So Will came prepared. I mean, those of you that watched, he had his notes all written down, all typed out. I mean, he was ready for it. So it was awesome. So thank you, Will.
And then let people know that, or I'll let people know. If you don't get to catch us live, the video does stay on the Facebook discussion feed, so you can go back and watch it at any time, and then we're condensing the videos and putting them up on the YouTube channel, so they'll be available forever. But yeah, you can always catch it later in the day.
So yeah, it is on the YouTube channel. We posted the link on Facebook for the YouTube channel. The YouTube channel is on Elevate, right on the front page. So, I mean, it's pretty easy to find it, and that is kind of nice to watch the video after it's been cleaned up, because the first 2 or 3 minutes you got Stacey and I going, oh look, our Wi-Fi's not working. So have to wait for you guys to log in so you can bypass 2 minutes and then any discussion that really isn't relevant to the topic, because we're trying to keep it topic specific. So we're taking a half hour and cutting it down to a 15-minute snippet.
Raise your hand if you need a pen for writing your question.
Yeah, please write questions. It's fun when you guys participate. Stacey was over here. She was deleting every single one of them. We just took them out of the package. Yeah. So I have gift cards. If Stacey could hand these out, but I'd like to thank you guys. Again, we always appreciate referrals. I mean, that's how you guys do your business. By referral, hopefully. It's the best way to do business. And that's how we grow as a company, is word of mouth. You guys referring people that you like and enjoy and will like and enjoy, which makes for a fun company when we're all kind of like-minded. So I'd like to thank Carrie Blum, who referred Andrea. Oh my gosh. Andrea, are you here?
She's not here. She's out of town.
Can somebody pronounce her last name for me? Paul, do you know how to pronounce it?
Don't put me on the spot.
Wow, yeah. Thank you, Carrie. Kathy McLeod referred Ellie Baldwin. Ellie's here. Will Davis referred Eric Bro. And we'll have you stand up in a second. Antoinette DeGeorge referred Lauren Miles, and Allison Lashmet referred Brad Gay. So thank you very much. And you guys got a little $10 gift card just for thank you. But we kind of mentioned a couple new names here, and I think there's a few other people here. If you are new to equity, brand new to equity, or you just haven't been to a meeting yet because you've just been kind of delaying, please come up to the front. I'm just going to ask you to say hello, your name, and maybe you're brand new to the business, or maybe you came from another company, you've been in business for a while, and you get your little e-pin. See, that's why you want to come up here, so you can get your little equity e-pin. So, any brand new people to the company, please come on up. Please come. I see you. Don't be shy. Just a quick intro.
Can everyone hear me? Hello everyone, my name is Mitch Financial. I've been with the company for about 30 days-ish. My mom is a CPA, my dad is a scientist, so I'm the first of my kind to be in the business. So I'm very excited to be part of Equity.
Welcome. Glad you're here. Pass it along.
Good morning, my name is Michelle, and I'm brand new as well, maybe 30 some days as well. Very excited to be here. I'm currently an esthetician, if y'all need a facial. I'm excited to be here.
Welcome.
Good morning, my name is Vicki Hoker, and I'm brand new. I'm coming from a different brokerage and super excited to be here and feel very welcome, so thank you.
Hello, my name is Kirk Drake, and I've been in real estate in 40 years. However, I've been out for 10, and I recognize it's changed a lot in reference to how to do business. So luckily I'm in the right company.
Welcome.
Good morning, I'm Ellie Baldwin, and I was here at the last marketing meeting. However, I hadn't signed yet. I was waiting for the return of our colleagues. And so I am here, and I did get my
Did you get your
pin.
pin before?
I
Oh,
did.
okay.
I do need to disclose that, right? I am a career changer, so I just did all that education, which is why that's in my brain. Okay, well, thank you, and I have felt welcome, and the last marketing meeting did help me make my decision as well, so I thank you all.
Cool. Welcome.
Hey, good morning, everybody. My name is Eric. I'm coming here from Keller Williams downtown. I happen to co-broke with Will Davis on a transaction and met him for coffee and such like that, and talked incredibly highly about it. So I came in, met with Paul. Excited to make the transition. Thanks.
Welcome.
Did you do radio before? He's got a great voice.
I was just gonna say that.
Radio. That was in my younger days.
Yeah.
So welcome all of you, and I'd say 2/3 of them are all taking the Pathway to Mastery class right now with me, so I'm excited that you guys are all doing that. That's a great way to get going in this business. If you're just checking us out and you want to introduce yourself and just say hi, feel free. If you're laying low and you don't want to let people know that you're here, that's okay too. That's up to you. But if you'd like to say hello, sure. No worries. We get people from other companies who are like, I don't want anyone to know I'm here. So that's okay. So this is fun. We've got some recognitions to do. This is our 10-year anniversary of Equity being open.
Oh, wow.
Round of applause. I think most of you know the story. I'll give you the 30-second. Stacey and I started this back in 2009-ish. It was the very end of 2009. Just the two of us. Equity was not known here in Colorado. It had started in Utah and was the #1 company there. It was 2009. We weren't doing anything because we were in the recession. So we had nothing better to do than open up a company. Stacey took over our independent business that we were doing, our own personal sales. I got on the phone and started calling people and doing what you guys do, trying to build a company out of nothing. And I was in a shared secretarial office. Many of you guys remember that. It was just me in a little room, and I had a computer on the side and said, "We're Equity." And here we are. Comes going. We're going to do something cool someday. And 10 years later, we have over 600 agents along the Front Range now. And I mean, that's exciting that we're big, but what's more exciting is that we just have good people. I mean, that's what's really exciting. But we have had some people that have been with us from day one-ish. And I'd like to recognize them. Yes.
Just letting you know who started.
Oh, I'm starting here, right? Okay, that's what I thought. So this person wasn't the very first agent that I got. That person's not here today, is she? No, she's not here. We'll recognize her again. And we're going to do a rolling thing throughout the year, recognizing people. but had been a friend, colleague in the business, reached out to him. He was at another company and he was like, yeah, what's going on over there? You know, he's an extremely stable guy, and getting this guy to move anywhere is very tough, but I think he saw the vision of who you're going to be. I mean, but really, when it's just one person, you're like, really, are you gonna do something or not? But he took a chance, and he came on board. Wow, 10 years. He's been my right-hand man. Greg Tiffin.
Oh, just the two? Oh.
It just says, in grateful appreciation for your 10 years of loyalty and dedication to Equity Colorado.
No, I don't usually get emotional. I mean, I gotta be the steadfast guy, and the leader. That's my job, but nah, he's been just right there the whole time, so I appreciate
what you
it.
guys have done, man. You guys are awesome.
So, thank you. And he's wonderful support. You guys know when we're gone on vacation and he's handling that hotline, he's the best. I mean, he knows contracts, he knows law, he knows the industry. He's a wealth of information. If you haven't ever taken him out to lunch and just said, how do you do your business? You should. You should do that with people who are successful in the industry and ask them what they do. Because it makes it look easy, but as you all know, it's not easy. So again, thanks, Greg.
So our other three are not here today. We can either recognize them or save them for later.
Yeah, we're gonna keep pushing them then.
Okay.
So,
All right.
yeah, we'll recognize them. So the other person, she was actually my very, very first hire. And again, referral, Mark Scow with OBO. You guys know Mark Scow? I kind of knew him. Again, we're not even a company yet. It's me, saying what I want to do. But I sat Mark down and showed him who we were going to be and the tools and things. He's like, wow, that's really cool. And he called me up like a week later and said, I met this gal and she's not happy where she's at. Would you like to meet with her? And that was Brenda Ishida. She was the very first person I hired, and she's still here to this day. She does a little bit of business, but she's been loyal. And if you remember, those who've been here for 10 years, the question was, what are you building? Who do you want? And what are you doing? And I said, I want people who are honest, ethical, and represent our company in a good fashion and protect me and my license. I'm not looking for people who are going to set the world on fire. That's not what, I mean, of course we want you to, but that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for good people. And she was a good person, and she, to this day, she's a great representation of her company. So that's Brenda. Rich Sands. Rich Sands, 10 years. Lots of us know Rich Sands. Rich Sands teaches the GRI, teaches classes here all the time. He does a few transactions. I met him back at Coldwell Banker back in the day. I actually hired him to be the trainer for Coldwell Banker 20 years ago. But he's been with us for 10 years. A great guy, a good representation of who we are. And then Susie Farrar. I don't know if you guys know Susie. You might know Susie because she's a great tennis player. I played with her once and she killed me. Absolutely sense. So Susie Farrar, 10 years. So I really appreciate these people for their loyalty and longevity with us. So give them a round of applause. Yeah, so we have more to come throughout the year, as I mentioned. And then, let's see. This person didn't get to make it to our luncheon. This person was playing golf at Tucson, which I understand that's a good thing to do. So I appreciate that. But very exciting. This is Kevin's first time to be in the top 3. He was our number 3 producer for the company. 53 closings last year. Kevin, congratulations. And partner in crime playing golf at the same time. Greg Tiffin with 17 transactions. I think you're gonna have a little rivalry this coming year.
Exactly.
And one more, we made a mistake. If you guys change your EIN during the year, tell Stacey and I so that we have a heads up. Something happened in the back office and this person was doing business as personal and then turned into a company and they didn't merge together, and I feel really bad that she wasn't invited to our luncheon. But with 14 closings, Kara Homer. That's a great deal, Kara. Congratulations. And thanks for pointing it out. If you make mistakes, point it out.
Yes. Yeah, if you don't get invited to something and you think you
You
should
think
be
you
there,
should.
let me know. Because yeah, we own this one. It was totally an accounting issue on our end, so.
So a round of applause for everyone. So these are fun. Again, we just have amazing people here at our company, and I think you guys all know. And this young man has just stepped up. I mean, in a big way. And he's done an amazing job and is definitely an integral part of our company. Commitment to Service Award, and grateful appreciation for your outstanding service and commitment, Parker Sperry.
Yeah.
And we all know who the next person must be.
Not me.
I mean, what can we say about Paul? Paul does an amazing job. He's just beyond amazing. And, you know, coming up with awards, you're like, what do we call it this year? Because we're never not going to leave them out because they're amazing. Okay, they're amazing.
We couldn't do what
Yeah,
we do
we
without you.
never could do what we do.
Neither could any of us, guys. With you, without you, I mean.
Clarification. Disclose. Nice.
So this year, earning the 2019 Chief Happiness Director for always providing exceptional service with a smile, Paul.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, we are definitely blessed to have both of these guys.
I didn't think I'd be crying this morning. Thanks, guys. Can we quickly just say thank you to Todd and Stacey because
Absolutely.
you guys have given not only have you given me opportunity personally, but all of us. This wouldn't exist without you guys. So I wish I had an award for you. But yeah, thank you for everything over the years and for all of us. So we appreciate you guys. I'm gonna go before I start crying.
You're good.
Awesome. Now, a round of applause for just you guys. For great and now on with business. Special taxing districts. Stacey, come on up. Have you guys paid attention to special taxing districts? Do we all know what they are and how they operate? And how almost every single person who's buying a new home is in a special taxing district. But there are some interesting things that we have come across that we think you guys should know and that you should be educating your client on, just so that everyone, again, disclose. because this is extremely important stuff. It's not gonna keep people from buying homes most likely in an area, but it will at least allow them to not have any surprises, because surprises may come.
Alright. So, special taxing districts, I'm gonna give you guys, how it's relevant to our industry, and then I'm going to give you some of the technical information on legally how they're formed and how they operate. I made these slides, one, to keep me on track, and two, so that when we send out our recap email on Friday, you guys can look back and you have the notes and you have the links that I'm going to be showing you guys on the internet. So there are actually now over 3,000 special taxing districts in Colorado. When I had Paul create this slide yesterday, the information I was looking at had 2,000, and then when I went on this morning to double check, that number has gone up. So there are over 3,000. These are not new. They've actually been around since the 1940s. We just haven't seen as many of them until we got into the 80s, when the Highlands Ranch Metropolitan District was formed. It is one of the most prominent and well-known metro district special taxing districts in the U.S. And a lot of communities try and model after Highlands Ranch because it's been one of the most successful in how the developer economically put the structure together. So a special taxing district or a metro district, interchangeable, what is happening is developers are coming in and they're buying land, and in order to put the infrastructure into the land, they're having to come to the table with millions of dollars to put in the roads, to put in the sidewalks, to put in the water, to put in the playgrounds, to put in the parks, to put in the open space. And most builders nowadays don't have deep enough pockets to have a subdivision going here and a development going there and across the country. So what they're doing is they're financing all of this through bonds, and then they're mill levying the taxpayers and the homeowners who buy in those communities. So, according to state law, a developer must provide at least 2 services in order to create a metro district. So for example, sidewalks, roads, open space, fire protection, and water services. What is a special taxing district? It's a public entity or a local government that's created by the state to provide necessary public services that the county and the city can't provide. So in order to have these communities that our clientele want to reside in, they've got to be attractive, they've got to be desirable. And in order to do that, they need these systems in place to financially make it feasible. We just mentioned what public services can a special taxing district provide? Again, fire protection, parks and recreation, safety protection, water and sanitation, transportation, and street improvements. How is a special taxing district or metro district governed? So the way these are formed is the developer comes in and they put together a site plan, and they have to submit that to the county. And they appoint themselves, typically their spouse, and a couple business associates in charge of developing this area. And in order for their business associates to be party to the decision making, they have to own an interest in the property. So the developer gives them a portion of the property so they have an interest in it. They determine how much money they're going to need for infrastructure, how that money is going to be spent, and how the revenues are going to be brought in by the homeowners to pay off mill levies and bonds they're using to finance the project. So once they get the site plan approved, they then appoint a board of directors. And the board of directors make sure that all the financial responsibilities are taken care of, all the reporting to the city and the county is taken care of, and that the site plan is executed per the way everything was drawn up. So the boards typically consist of 5 to 7 individuals. The developer, 99% of the time, holds a position on that board. So does one of his business associates. And then there can be other elected parties that are put on the board with them. So in order to be a board member, you have to be a registered voter in the state of Colorado, and you have to either reside in the area of the special taxing district or own property in that area. How does the special taxing district pay for its capital needs? Special taxing district is authorized to utilize a number of ways of raising revenues, including issuing bonds, levying taxes, and imposing fees and charges. We're really going to talk about the levying taxes part because that's what affects you and your clients the most. But before we get there, I do want to inform you on how a special taxing district and an HOA are different. Because that question comes up. What's the difference between the two? So special taxing district is purely for the infrastructure of the development. And they raise funds through property taxes. An HOA is for covenant enforcement, to help with property values in an area. And they have HOA fees, but they can't impose taxes. So each district is required by the state of Colorado to file transparency documents on an annual basis. So when you have clients coming to you saying, hey, I'm looking at this new KB home community, and I hear that the property taxes are high out there, and you say, I think it might be located in a special taxing district. You can go online to these two websites, which I'm going to click through and show you a demo, to find out what subdivisions are special taxing districts and what the mill levy rate is for each. The problem is that when the developers set these up, they set the mill levy rate. That rate can go up. And obviously as home prices go up, so do property taxes. So I'm going to show you really quick on this first one. And you're going to have access to this link when we send out the Friday recap. But it's alphabetical. So if you're looking for a specific subdivision, all you have to do is go alphabetically in here to find it. So if you're curious about Aberdeen Metropolitan District number 1, you can come in here and find out where their office is located and their contact information. You can find out where they hold their board meetings, what day and time. You can find out whether they have any proposed actions, increases, or rates that are going to be going up. And then it tells you the mill levy right there for that metropolitan district. And then it talks a little bit more about who the board members are, who the president is, so you can find out who actually sits on their board. The other one that I'm going to show you, where'd my presentation go? The next one I'm going to show you will actually break things down by filing. This one I think is going to be the most helpful for you guys. So again, it's all done alphabetically. And so you can click on each particular metro district, find very similar information to what I just showed you. But my favorite part is when you toggle across the tabs on the top, there's this property tax entities tab. And so when you click on that, it gives you a really quick glance and a nice snapshot without having to dig too far. Aberdeen Metropolitan Taxing District, which we just talked about, it lets them know all of the filings that they have, what county it resides in, the total mill levy rate for that metro district, and then how much the assessed value is of the funds that they'll bring in from the taxpayers. So you can have a client say, Copperleaf, what is the metro tax district mill levy rate? And you can go into Copperleaf and you can look and see. Now there are a lot of subdivisions that have multiple filings, Saddle Rock, Copperleaf, South Shore. There's filing 1, filing 2, filing 3. So you're gonna have to look at the legal description of a specific property and it will tell you which filing it falls in, and then you can find it based upon that. Questions so far?
Have any of you been to these sites? No. Okay.
How do you interpret that mill levy?
So
Well, I'm looking at something, I mean, it's a little hard to see, but it looks like it's $37,000, line 3 there. Whatever it is. I mean, what does that mean
That
to
should
me?
be 30,
What does that mean to the
37?
homeowner?
Yeah, 37 per thousand. Is that how it goes? 37%?
yeah,
per
so
thousand?
when you're looking at these numbers, it's actually point
But it's point.
0
Yeah.
and then the number. So if it says that the mill levy is 60, it's actually 0.060 is what it's going to be. Yeah. So that's how it's going to be calculated.
So that's 6% of
the value of the property, the assessed value of the property. Yeah.
Okay.
And the next screen I'm actually gonna show you, I'm gonna take you in for a quick demo on how to pull this information, how to actually utilize it. So say you have a client that's wanting to buy a house, and I'm just gonna use Highlands Ranch for example. And they say, I'm interested in this particular property and I want to know if it's in a special taxing district. And you're like, oh, I don't think I should be researching this. I'm gonna have you call the county. You put them in charge of the buyer due diligence that they need to do, but you can still be knowledgeable on how all of this works. So we're just gonna go into the Douglas County Assessor website. And I just typed in Douglas County Assessors, parcel search, and it comes up with this. So I can do a property search up here. And I'm gonna type in a property address in Highlands Ranch, 4725 Fenwood Drive. Don't know if that rings a bell to Todd or not.
Like, that was our first house here. What's it going for now?
Like too much.
And so each assessor website is going to be a little bit different, but there is always an area, thank you, to toggle through to find tax information. So up here there's valuation information, and there's also taxing authority information. So at a quick glance, you can see that the mill levy for this particular property is 93, or 0.09, right? So when you click through on that, it will give you a breakdown of how that mill levy is built. And so it's going to tell you 35 mills goes to Douglas County School District, 19 mills goes to the government, and 11 mills goes to the Highlands Ranch Metro District. So the special taxing district mill levy fee is down. Scroll down, or scroll up, excuse me. Is this one right here, the 11. But all of these services go to build that 93 mill levy. So that's how you can put it into everyday use. If you're looking at new construction with a client and you want to know what that mill levy is going to look like, you can type in the new construction property address and it'll pop up KB Homes, Lennar Homes, whoever that home builder is, and it will tell you what the full mill levy is and what the Metro District special taxing fee is. Now, it won't be fully assessed, and that's what happens is a lot of your clients buy new construction, and the first year their tax bill is like $800. And that's because evaluations are only done on odd years. So anybody who buys a house in 2020 that's new construction, they're gonna pay the assessed value on the land undeveloped. And when the home is built, it gets reassessed in 2021, and then all of a sudden their tax bill becomes $5,000.
Yeah.
And when they were paying $3,000 a year in taxes on their previous home, and they call you and say, why is this so expensive? My parents own $1 million home in this neighborhood, and I'm paying twice the amount that they are, and my house isn't worth nearly as much. Now you're going to be a little more educated on how you can break this information down for them and show them where all of that tax money is going. So, anything you want to add?
You're doing great.
Pretty knowledgeable on special taxing districts. So.
No, you're doing great. I'm excited about the next couple of things you're going to show.
Do I have other things to show?
Maybe what you were talking about this morning, the percentage of some of these. Yeah, we don't have a slide for that.
I actually don't even have a slide for that. Paul was very kind, and he gave me a packet yesterday, and I think I have it here. It was something that one of our lending partners dropped off yesterday in advance of this presentation. I read through the entire packet. It's about 25 pages long, and it has a chart in there that absolutely blew my mind. And it shows you the amount of revenue being brought in from the mill levy and the taxes to repay these bonds the developers have taken out on the land, and the outrageous gap between what money is coming in and what money is actually owed on the community. And so what we're finding is that some of these communities, I hate to sound like an alarmist, they are a black hole, and they will never get on top of this debt because the developers were not economical when they built these subdivisions because it's not their money. The money is not coming out of their pocket, and so they're putting the burden on the homeowners. And so when you see that in Copperleaf, I'm going to use as an example, it's not all the way built out, but when you're seeing that they're bringing in $15 million a year to repay these bonds, but what's due is $80 million, and it's at an 11% interest rate, they're never gonna catch up. So when the balloon payment comes in 2032, which it won't, there won't be enough money to make the payment, and they're gonna have to restructure and take out another bond. And it's just gonna keep going, and it's gonna keep going. So a lot of these buyers are being told this is a temporary thing, and once it's paid off, it'll go away. It's not gonna go away. Some of these are 266% upside down. And we're in a phenomenal economy, you guys. So, Skip.
There is a really in-depth article on this whole issue in the Denver Post in December, talking about it, and it's also in the Loveland Herald, where the state let these metro districts, they let the builders staff the boards without any resident representation. And so essentially all these things were done and voted on before residents ever moved in.
Yep.
And in some of these neighborhoods, taxes are increasing, they're double and tripling. And some communities now, like Loveland, I think, are trying to enact some regulation to address that in the future.
Yeah.
But it really is buyer beware. You gotta,
It
if
is.
you're looking into these neighborhoods, you gotta look at the depth in the metro district.
And I think what I have the hardest time with, and you guys are gonna have to really be bulldogs, and this is where you articulate your value, and when you're up against a discount broker that may not have the skill set to negotiate and educate their client. I sat down with a past client at a KB home subdivision 2 months ago. And when we got to the part of the contract that said special taxing district, the sales associate said, this home might be located in a special taxing district, you might want to do your research, and he breezed right through. And when he got to the bottom of the page and he said, any questions? I said, is this home in a special taxing district? And he said, it might be. And I said, well, you should know. And my client's sitting right there, I said, you should know. And he says, well, yes, it is. And he proceeded to say, the mill levy for it is 62, and that includes, he knows all of that information, but wasn't going to tell the buyer. So until I pressed him for it, he didn't disclose it, but he met the guidelines for disclosure by stating you need to research it. So really press these sales associates. They know all the answers. They just won't tell you unless you ask. So I think I've used all my time.
That's perfect.
Any other questions
on that? Yeah, be aware, and we don't want to be alarmists. This has been going on for years, and Highlands Ranch is extremely successful. But if you can think of back in the day, subdivisions were created by developers with their own money. And they put in the sewer, and they put in the sidewalks, and maybe they had a little pool or something, maybe, that was years ago, back in the 70s and 80s. But we want so much more nowadays. Now we want open space, we want parks, we want tennis courts, we want more and more and more. So we don't have those people building the basic subdivisions that we had 50 years ago. So they needed to do this and do it smartly. But, as Skip mentioned, you have 5 people on this board who are not the homeowners. This is not the HOA. An HOA is managed by the homeowner association. This is managed by 5 individuals that are going to do what they need to do to make this thing work. And Ravenna was a perfect case years ago, how it went bankrupt the first time. Now it's been saved, it's like wonderful, it's doing great. Their mill levy is one of the highest in the city. And their HOA is extremely high. And their benefits are extremely low. If you dig into what they offer, everything is pay more, pay more, pay more. And it's a small subdivision. They're gonna have 150 to 200 homes, but they want to have all the bells and whistles. Someone has to pay for that, and that's how you do it through a special taxing district. So we don't need to be experts. We just need to know this. We need to advise people, check this out, look into it, just to make sure, because the article that Skip's referencing, people did get caught. And I mean, we all know that people in that $500,000, it's crazy, but that's the average sales price. The first-time home buyer in the $500,000 price range. But we know that first-time home buyers or second-time, they squeeze themselves in to a loan most often. And if those taxes go up, which they will, it's gonna squeeze them out. And that's what the article I talked about, is people losing their homes because they
Yeah, to
can't afford it.
foreclosure, because they can afford the mortgage, but they can't afford the taxes.
Yeah, you see it?
Yeah, so they're assessed as any other property in the state, just at a higher rate because they need to pay all those things, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Where previously builders just padded that into the sales price, and so they would recoup their money from infrastructure costs upon every individual home sale. Now it's structured into the taxes instead.
So you're paying for the development of the subdivision.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Well, in Sterling Ranch, what they tout is we don't have HOA fees here. Well,
HOA you have control.
Your mill levy's 65. So, yeah.
Is there a way to see what the debt is for that special taxing district?
Yes.
Yep, when you go into the filing documents, on the first website that I showed you, you can see what bonds they've taken out, when they're due, yeah, all of that.
You show what the revenue is too?
Yes, it shows the revenue.
Yeah, it's all very transparent. It's not like someone's doing a shell game. It's very transparent. But it doesn't mean they're doing a good business.
But if you don't know where to look.
Yeah.
Angie.
When they submit these bond proposals, who approves those?
So, they're submitted by the developer and the business associates that make up the site plan, and then the city and the county approve them. They're
So
government
like the
backed.
building like what department? Like, can we vote for those people? I guess that's my question.
I don't know.
Which people?
The people who are approving
Who are approving it?
the bonds.
The government officials that are approving
That's a
them.
good question.
I don't know.
I'm sure we vote for them. So, well, they're probably appointed by the people that we vote for.
Right.
Yeah, it's a trickle down theory. Yeah.
Does it go
So-
county by county? Is it basically?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep, county by county. So anyway, something for you guys to be aware of. Again, it's very prevalent in Colorado. We need new construction for growth, for inventory. But I do foresee down the road, someone who doesn't live in a special taxing district, their home may become more desirable because their taxes are gonna be less than maybe a home that they would be, a buyer would be purchasing in a special taxing district. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that affects in the long run.
But as you said, the value that you guys provide. This is, if you're not sitting in this right now, or not watching Facebook right now, you don't know about this. Most of us were like, oh, no, I haven't seen these sites. We really didn't know much until that article came out and we really started digging into this and learning more about it. Oh, wow,
It's hard to find.
it's a real thing that people need to know about. And I shouldn't be glossed over. You may be in a special taxing district. Because we say that and no one's ever gonna look into it. I would be saying, check out the special taxing district so you understand how your taxes are calculated. So you are not unaware.
Yes. Here's the link for the subdivision.
Because your taxes are not gonna be $800 next year. And they will go up.
Kevin?
I just got it's a basic question though. When you say propose a bond, do they just have investors buy the bond, or where does the money come from? I mean, I just never really even thought about it. It's just perfect. There's money.
Yeah, now you're getting into
I
stuff
don't
that I don't know. These are the same questions I have. Do you know, Amir, how that all works?
Sorry, I was.
That's okay.
Multitasking?
We'll find out, because yeah, when you dig really, how does this, where's the money, and can I buy these bonds? How do I buy these bonds at 11%? I don't know how that works. Is that possible? Yeah. Yeah.
Well, my understanding is anytime the municipality wants to sell their bonds, there's always investors ready to buy them. They just look at the details. Like if you can make 11%, why not buy that kind of.
Oh, gosh, yeah. I just don't know how you get into that. Yeah. I don't know.
Have to
On the
deep pockets.
municipal- yeah.
Yeah, they just come.
So it's just municipal.
So we got some questions?
Ask your questions
you have a
this
question?
way.
Grab some Q&As, any questions, anyone?
Like that one?
Yeah, good, I mean, very timely question. I'm not gonna say what came from, because I already forgot. It's one of you guys. So, question. Hello? I don't have all the answers, so you guys might have the answers, or we play with the answers together. But this is a great question. My clients ask me, will the market crash because of coronavirus?
Oh, I can get rid of a couple of these.
to be affected.
Staying in that house.
I think what the stock market is experiencing is what?
Fear. Fear.
Fear or unknown?
Unknown.
It's the unknown. And that creates the fear that it's unknown. I don't know. I mean, right now, we just had our best January and February in sales ever for the company. I think we're up 20%. The market is really good. Interest rates are silly, and Amir might even speak to this for just a second. If you want to come up here, I'll let you just talk about that for a second. Interest rates are crazy right now, crazy good, but they're actually going up a little bit because they're too good. So I'll let Amir say that. So it's a great time to buy. Unemployment is so low right now that we're not going to let go of people. I'm not going to send Paul home fearing that our market's going to go down, we're not going to be making income, because if that doesn't happen, how am I going to get Paul back? Because someone's going to steal him because the unemployment's down. It's hard to find. It's hard to find good people. So employers are keeping their people, even if they're going to feel a little bit of downturn for a little while. How long is that going to last, though? I mean, if truly we don't go to the ball games, we truly don't go out to lunch, and eventually, if that went on for a long time, that's going to affect people's jobs, and employers are going to eventually let people off or put them on the side for a while. I don't see that happening right now, but it's the unknown. So today I can tell you, we just had our best January, our best February. I'm hearing from agents today having 11 offers on one property. We're going about our lives. People are still getting married, getting divorced, downsizing. But if it affects the job market, is the only time I can see it affecting the housing market. And right now, it hasn't affected the job market. That's
People aren't going on cruises right now.
Yeah.
If you're in the hospitality industry, you're feeling the squeeze, for sure.
Yeah. So, but good question, but that's the unknown. That's why the stock market's way up and then way down and then way up. I'm happy, I'm sad, I'm happy, I'm sad. I don't know. Yeah.
So this one is a good one to point to our Tuesday talk, because we did an entire 30-minute session on that.
Oh, yes. So I'm not going to point this person out. I'm just going to let you know that we have answered this for you in depth. So how does the coming soon policy work? Can you show it? Wow, it's coming soon. Is there rule for how long? We have the video. It's on YouTube. We did a half-hour talk on this. The very short answer is 1 day. You put the sign up, you got 1 day to put it in the MLS.
That is coming soon.
That is coming soon. 1 day. What? Nope.
Nope. Don't send out postcards, don't send out flyers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I get
1 day.
what if,
Nope.
no. It became effective January 1. It's mandatory May 1st. What's that mean? It means that you're supposed to be abiding by this right now. What does it mean by May 1st? It means that the MLS needs to be prepared to enforce it. But as of today, you put the sign up, you start marketing, you put flyers out, you put it on Zillow, you do anything publicly, it's got to get in the MLS the next day. You tell us here in the group, this is not public marketing. This is, hey, I've got something coming up in June. I'm not going to show it to you guys. It's not listed. We're working on it. It's going to be pretty. It's going to be, so just keep it back in your head that I'm going to have this. But if you say, if you'd like to see it, well, now you're marketing it. Give me a heads up that it's coming someday. That's different. But that's in here. This is not public. Outside of this little group, 1 day.
So Todd, I had a seller that alerted me to the fact that right across the street from her listing, which is going to be mine, she is on it, Jack. She's like with binoculars. You know? There's a sign that's been up, open, coming soon for 5 days. She's told me, and I said, "Is anybody going in and out that you notice?" She said, "No." So the sign has been there for 5 days. Now I haven't checked it yet. Will today see if it's active.
By rule,
right?
By MLS rule too. Someone else posted this the other day and said, Well, a non-realtor said that they would, this is not a realtor thing. This is MLS, okay? NAR can mandate to MLSs, because the MLSs are owned by the realtors. We let non-realtors into our MLS, but when you're in our MLS, you have to play by our rules. So you don't get to say, I'm not a realtor, I don't have to, no, you're in our MLS, you have to play by our rules. Now, does that mean people play by our rules? Do we all play by our own rules? We want to, but we don't. I mean, people do things improperly, but that's neither here nor there. My job is to tell you what the rules are. Angie.
So can we generically market? Can we put out an ad that says, new home coming in such a subdivision in approximate amount of time, call me for details, without listing any particular address?
No.
It's not. Open house in between? 24 hours? Can't do it.
24 hours.
24 hours.
You can do an open house.
So if an open house Saturday and you're launching an MLS on Sunday,
Perfect.
you're good.
Nice. Thank you. That's good, Mark.
What you could do generically is, are you looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home in RV Park? I'm looking for clients. But you can't say you have something in RV Park coming.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I like that. Okay.
That, I
That's
mean,
kind of
you
where
can
I was
always
going.
do that.
You tweak it.
Hey, are you looking for condos in the blah, blah, blah? I'm looking for people who are wanting to buy there. You're not promoting listing, you're looking for buyers.
I have a question with regards to having an open house. So let's say that can you advertise for the open house before it's on the market? Like 2 days before?